Hey, what is up everyone? Professor Danny and Alex. In this video, we're going to be showing you guys some sweeps from the close guard position. Basic stuff as well as intermediate. All right, so the first technique we're going to look at is called the hip bump sweep. Now, I know I've done tutorials on this and whatnot, but this is one of those sweeps that every beginner should have in their arsenal. Okay, so in a close guard position, a lot of times I'm going to go for the hip bump sweep, and other times he's going to give it to me by holding onto my belt. I'm going to show you two methods. Number one is I'm going to force his hands to the mat, trap his wrist, and now create some space so I can sit up and now connect myself here. Once I'm in this position now, I can go for that technique. Now, what's very important is to raise your hips off the ground. A lot of people from here, they stay in the seated position and they try to force the turn like this, all right? What's gonna happen now is I'm just forcing and trying to roll my lap onto his lap. If you get a stronger opponent, this is not gonna work. So what I need to do is post my hand like I'm doing right now and raise like I'm gonna start to do a technical stand-up. But instead of taking my leg out of there, I'm gonna push with the opposite side and turn. All right, now one more variation is sometimes the opponent's gonna be holding tight against your belt. All right, so now I don't have the option of bringing his hands on the mat. So now what's gonna happen is I'm gonna uncross my feet, but now I'm gonna sit up and come all the way up to my palm. I always like to bring my hand towards his hips so that way I can reach for his belt and hold on to him as such. Now his hands are stuck against my belt. Now I'm gonna raise, but always raise by elevating. If you stay onto your elbow trying to do this technique, as I said, you're gonna fail. So I'm gonna come all the way up to my palm so I can raise my hips off the mat and now hold his elbow in place. As I turn, make sure that you don't look into this direction. I don't wanna flip my opponent here. I wanna bring my opponent in this direction. All right, so I don't wanna push down south, I wanna bring him up north. So when I turn, I should be looking in the opposite direction. See? And now I turn and catch the elbow. From here, I'll finalize in the mount. Now the next position, I'm gonna grab a hold of his collar. So this is called the collar and sleeve connection. I'm gonna uncross my legs and place one foot onto his hip as such. Bring the knee inside in this position for control. Now I can drop my foot and easily take him down into the scissor sweep position. With this position now, I can start connecting a little bit more of advanced moves. So I connect here. As I scoot my hips out, I always place my foot onto his hip. That way there, it doesn't get floppy and he doesn't just pass my guard, right? So from here, a lot of times, he knows the scissor sweep. So he's gonna knee slice and start to cut through my guard. So by placing my foot to control his hip, now it's impossible for him to pass the guard on this side if I'm controlling right. Now I place my shin across here as a shield. Now, I find that I can't do that scissor sweep anymore. Even if I try to, this guy's a rock. So what I'm going to do now is I'm place my foot, this foot onto the mat, create a shield with my knee, bring the other foot in as I straighten my body up. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit up, pull the collar, and arm drag here. One, in this position. Now let's turn to the side, Alex. In this collar drag position, once I'm here, I'm going to use my opposite hand and grab a hold of his belt. Now it's important not to just grab here in the middle. Always grab as far as possible and latch like you're molding your body on top of his shoulder. Once you have this, then you post onto the mat. The idea is to lean onto his arm. I don't want him escaping his right arm out of there. So once I'm here now, I'm gonna use my arm, trap his arm, and take this out of the equation so I can turn him over and land here. Now, in this crab mount position, he's gonna try to elbow escape. When he does so, he's gonna push on my knee, I'll windshield wiper out, and end up in the knee on belly. So let's take a look at this technique once again. So I have this connection here. I'm going for my first position where I had the foot on the hip and I connect here. Now what happens is I find that opponent's very strong, so I'm gonna place my foot onto the mat, creating a shield with my knee here. Place the second foot in as I square myself up, but now I'll pull to sit up, but also get the collar drag position right here. Now I'll grab a hold of his belt. Once I have the belt and I connect my chest onto his shoulder, then, only then do I post and scoot my hips out. Now I have a great position here, but I can't stay here forever. So my idea is gonna be to sweep him. When I do so, I'm gonna go for this arm, because that's the arm he's gonna try to defend with. So when I get to here, I'm gonna underhook, bring this to me. As I connect here, I raise his legs up, turn him over, and land into this mount position. Now notice I have 2 hooks inside his laps. I know my opponent's gonna try to push the knee to get the elbow escape. As he does so, I'll windshield wiper and end up in the knee on belly position. All right, let's look at another technique from here. Once I connect here and I scoot out to the hip and I'm controlling. Place my foot, I'm in the squared position, sit up for a collar drag and control the hip. Post myself so I can adjust my hips. Now in this position here, I'm going for that previous technique, but maybe his arm's not gonna be available for me. So he's gonna try to smash a little bit more and bring that knee up. So instead of going for that arm, I'm just gonna bring it inside, across this arm, but inside his lap. Now, watch this. I'm gonna pull him towards me. Once I'm here, I scoot my hips to the side, under his hips, and as I scoop and shrimp, he lands opposite. Now from here, I'll push his legs and his shoulder. So I can come up to the top position or stabilize the side control. So let's look at this one more time. From this angle, same entrance. I got to here, 1 and 2. As I collar drag, I'm connecting myself here, adjusting my hips. Can't reach for his arm, but his knee's available, so I'll go on the outside and scoot him in. Once I'm here, it's very important, move your hips underneath his hips. So I pull him, and then watch my hips. Bring them under his hips, and again. Once I'm here, I control. Now I let go his leg, push his shoulder, connect. And now from here, if I want the side control, I'll bring the elbow across and adjust. All right, guys, so there you have it. A couple of sweeps, basic as well as intermediate stuff for you guys from the close guard position. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget, subscribe to this channel if you haven't so already. And if you've watched this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up, a like just at the bottom. We'll catch you guys
in the next Jiu-Jitsu video.
Take care.